Now here we will discuss another example of compound interest where we can consider this as our example, but solving this problem is no longer a detailed solution, but instead we can use the formula that we have in solving final amount for compound interest. So the problem says that determine the amount, so we still have to look for the final value or final amount in the fund if 25,000 is invested at 10% compounded monthly for 5 years. So this 25,000, which is the amount of investment, can be considered as the principal value or the present value. So P is now 25,000. And the given interest here is the interest R, which is equal to 10%. Where it is compounded monthly, then we can say that conversion period M is equal to 12. And for 5 years, so this is the period of transaction wherein we can consider this as the T. And then we have to look for the compound amount F here, wherein instead of showing the detailed solution, we can use the formula that we have in finding the compound amount for compound interest, which is just simply F equal to P times the quantity 1 plus I raised to N. Now, finding the I, this is simply R over M, wherein the interest R is given as 10% and the conversion period is equal to 12. So then the periodic rate I is now equal to 5 over 6, reducing this by 2, or simply removing the percentage symbol now, will be divided by 100. So the periodic rate I is now 5 over 600. And then we need the N, wherein finding the N here is the total number of period of transaction, which is just simply conversion period M, to be multiplied by the period of the transaction T. So this is just simply 12 to be multiplied by 5, and this is now equal to 60. And then substituting all the given in the problem, wherein P is 25,000, and then to be multiplied by 1 plus, and the periodic rate I is 5 over 600, and this is raised to N, which is equal to 60. Then using your calculator, the final amount now is equal to 41,132.72. And this is actually the amount in the fund after 5 years. And for our next example, which is our example 3, that we also have to look for the present value, because the given here is that the amount in the bank after 30 months is 55,000. So we can consider that 55,000 is the final amount. How much was invested? So we are looking for the present value or principal. If the bank offered 5.25% interest rate compounded bi-monthly. So we can consider that 5.25 is the interest R. And since it is compounded bi-monthly, meaning to say that the conversion is equal to 6 accumulation in a year. And for the period of transaction is 30 months, so converting into year, so we have to divide by 12. So this is 30 over 12. And this time we are looking for the present value or the principal P. And using the formula wherein F is equal to P times the quantity 1 plus I raised to N, then we can derive the formula for finding the P is now equal to F times the quantity 1 plus I, but this is now raised to negative N. So then we need to find the value of I, also the periodic rate I, and also the total period of transaction N, wherein we can find the I as simply R over M. So R here is 5.25, conversion period is 6. So then we can remove the decimal or percentage symbol, then by just simply dividing by 100. So this is simply 5.25 over 600. And for the period of transaction, the total period of transaction N is now equal to N times T, wherein conversion period is 6. And for the time t, period of transaction t is 30 over 12. Then we can reduce this by 6. So we have 30 over 2, or simply equal to 15. Then we have substitute the given that the final amount is 55,000 and to be multiplied by 1 plus, and this is the periodic rate I, 5.25 over 600, and the total n, period of transaction n, is 15. So this is now negative 15, and then using your calculator now, finding the present value or the principal P is 48,262.46. So this is now the amount invested in the bank. And that after 30 months, that the final amount in the bank is 55,000.